Okay, so now we're going to talk about regressions for the one-arm push-up, right? How do I get to the one-arm push-up? So let's assume that you have 10, minimum 10, maybe even 15 for a fella, good, solid, hard style push-ups, right? Now we're going to start talking about the one-arm push-up, okay? These are great to do. You can do regressions, so you can do them elevated at basically any time as long as you have at least 10 to 15 push-ups. So the one-arm plank is how we start, just to learn how to stop your hips from shifting and your shoulders from dropping from side to side. So we get into our normal push-up setup. Now our feet are going to be shoulder width. In the beginning, it's okay to go twice as wide to start to learn the balance. And then, simple as this, you just take one hand up and then practice tension techniques. And then always practicing the corkscrew position, right? And then making sure your hand placement is good, really taking your time. It's also a good idea too to find these positions from the bottom, knowing what that's gonna feel like. So I go down here and I can play around with that bottom position, okay? Then we have the side hinge. The side hinge is a technique that's gonna be needed as we go into our one-arm push-up. For the side hinge, when you start practicing it, it is advisable and almost completely necessary to use your non-working hand to balance you. So I get into my push-up position, right? My feet might need to be double wide to start. Make sure that your feet aren't collapsing on the ground though, okay? So the heel has to be up only on the balls of the feet. So I get into my corkscrew position, tuck my pelvis, use this hand for support, and then I work on hinging as I go down into that position. And then I can lay down and then relax, okay? As you progress, you want to go from 5 fingers to 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then eventually none. And then it's advisable to go down and hold that bottom and explore the physics of the situation, right? So, get into my one-arm push-up, go down, and see, okay, how much weight is needed at what parts of my body to support this movement, right? Rather than just trying it, really trying to shift and get as much weight into your legs as possible and as much weight off of your shoulders and pecs as possible, okay? Then, once we have gotten to where you're doing the owning the bottom position and doing the active negatives down, you can start greasing the groove once you understand that. And it's very advisable also to do this from an elevated position. So maybe I start out with practicing that on an elevated surface here. So very good idea because you have obviously substantially less weight on your body. Practicing that throughout the day is going to be absolutely be the best way to do that. Very similar to power breathing when you first started that. And that's the regressions for the one-arm push-up.